Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook Edition of Heat. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Heat is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Disney. It comes in a standard slipcover edition, available at your local and online retailers, as well as a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Now, as far as the film itself is concerned, Heat is my all-time favorite movie, end of sentence, period, of all time. I absolutely love this film. To me, it's the perfect storm of all the elements: cast, story, direction, setting, just everything works here. It is just my all-time favorite movie. It really is. It's never wavered. I've just always been a fan of it. I saw it multiple times during its initial theatrical run. And of course, I owned every physical copy, all the way from the Laserdisc till now on the 4K. So yes, Heat, beautiful, beautiful movie. And I couldn't be happier that it made its way to the 4K format. Going back to the cast, of course, the legendary Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, Tom Sizemore. I mean, just wow. I mean, this film has it all, and I watch it multiple times a year. It really just stays with me. And, you know, I love everything set in Los Angeles when it comes to films. But for me, Heat, it's absolutely perfection. So yeah, you know what? Watch it. If you've never seen it and you're watching this video, check it out. It's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like it. And, you know, it's just, if you want a good crime drama with an amazing cast and setting, this one, you really can't do any better. So, yeah, check out Heat. It is now on 4K. All right, we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio in just a moment. But first, let's do a quick unboxing of the Steelbook. Okay, we have the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of Heat. It's funny, when I saw the artwork online, I wasn't too sure I would like it, but in hand, I think it's really solid. It's got a nice glossy finish to it, so I'm very happy with the results here. And then we have the back and the spine. In interior, we have some disc artwork all around on the Blu-ray, 4K, and bonus disc. So yeah, I really like it. I'm very happy here with the Steelbook edition of my all-time favorite film. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Heat on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 240:1 aspect ratio with native 4K resolution and HDR10 for the grading. Heat's previous 2017 Blu-ray was given a full remaster under the supervision of director Michael Mann. This new 4K disc utilizes that same remaster. Film grain looks very light in density and cinematic throughout. Reportedly utilizing a UHD 66 capacity disc, this nearly 3-hour movie is impressively stable image-wise. Whatever magic the 20th Century Fox team did here, the results show off very well. For starters, I did a comparison with the iTunes 4K digital copy to see if there were any inherent differences with the HDR grading or possibly new color timing for this disc. From my observation, the transfers seem practically identical in both aspects. The big difference was what usually happens when comparing a disc copy with a digital one: compression. Darker scenes on the digital copy were prone to occasional macro blocking, and the 4K disc kept those scenes in check fairly well. On the disc version, however, in the scene where Vincent is talking to Justine in the dark restaurant, the image teeters on Black Crush. It's an outlier I noticed. You may as well during your viewing. The transfer is not going to please everyone. That much I am 100% certain. With Mann's HDR grading, it's unusually subtle in most areas. If anything, its main function is to render black levels even darker. Shadows and night sequences are clearly deeper, which for myself adds more to the visual aesthetic than it takes away. Like the 2017 Blu-ray, the 4K disc displays daytime outdoor scenes, and they look to be perpetually in overcast. This was my exact wording in my criticism of the Pirates of the Caribbean 4K transfer. The difference here is that, unlike Pirates, the director of Heat has been very hands-on with the film's transfer, and its appearance is how he intended it. Some fans may cry revisionist, which is their right, So those holding on to their 2019 edition Blu-ray, DVD, or even Laserdisc of Heat can enjoy the slightly brighter palette in that transfer. Speaking of the previous discs, those that are familiar with the 2017 release also notice that the color palette seems more drab. Here on the 4K disc with HDR, it's still that way, but more refined. Boosts in this regard may seem negligible to the average viewer, but as someone who is very familiar with the film, I noticed the difference. Details show appreciable improvements to close-ups. Once again, I'll use the term refined in regard to texture enhancements. It's not a night and day difference, but noticeable nonetheless. Heat on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a DTS 5.1 audio presentation. The audio mix unfortunately didn't get an Atmos upgrade for this new release, which I could easily see being a deal breaker for some audiophiles. That being said, fans of the film know full well that the movie's atmosphere has always been well represented on home formats. The DTS track here continues the trend, though it's definitely been heard before. Surround activity is featured well in action moments or through ambience in busy public spaces such as the diner or club. The film's music also features prominently here. Dialogue is clear and precise throughout, from the quietest whisper to the shouting during the epic gun battles. Speaking of which, during any scenes involving guns, those shots hit like a truck. Heat's firearm sequences are still the gold standard of home theater systems. The climax at the airport is still loud to a deafening degree. The low end is punchy in its delivery and has a solid presence. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Heat on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a B+. The 4K transfer is not, nor was it ever intended to be, a visual showstopper on the 4K formats. That being said, cinephiles who have been with the film since its theatrical run will certainly appreciate the cinematic look here on 4K. For the audio mix, I'm going to give this one an A-. The lack of an upgraded audio track is admittedly disappointing, but it still shouldn't take away from your enjoyment of the film. Action scenes are as punchy as ever and the atmosphere is really well rendered. This is a solid audio track. So, should you upgrade to this new 4K edition of Heat? Well, for those looking for a melt your eyeballs HDR grading despite what the director intended, or a Dolby Atmos update, this 4K disc probably isn't for you. But if you want the best home theater experience of a great cinematic film, I think the 4K edition is worthy of being on your shelf. So that is my review of Michael Mann's Heat on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.